All right. Happy Friday, everyone. I know that it's been some time since I've been online. So, hey, what's going on? We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. And this year, I'm actually going to be really posting to a YouTube channel. I think with everything that I share on video and the tips and just having really good discussions about not only career, but just life and personal and professional development. I wanted to share that on a new platform this year. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Melissa Flurry. I'm an executive career coach and founder of The Branded Career. This year, we're celebrating 5 years. 5 years at The Branded Career, and I'm very excited to start celebrating that and really bring you all new programs and services that I know really will help those that are looking to excel in their career in 2023. And so, if you don't know what the Branded Career is, but the Branded Career is a career and leadership development firm. And our primary focus is to make sure that women of color are ascending and growing and being paid very well within corporate America. I truly believe that some people have a gift and their gift really needs to be groomed. It really needs to be showing people exactly what it is that they can do. I know that there's been a negative connotation about corporate America being blood sucking and all of these things about corporate. And some of it is true because I work corporate. I always have, maybe I always will. I don't know what God has in store for me. But there's so much opportunities within corporate America in order for you to really grow your skills, in order for you to make more money, in order for you to make better connections and really excel your career. Now, something that I talk about with my clients is that where you work is not your career. Your job does not equate to a career. If you're looking at yourself as just solely having a job, you're just collecting a check. And if that's where you are in the season of life that you're in, and that's absolutely okay. But when you're in the mindset of actually having a career and being intentional about the opportunities that you take and the companies that you partner with, and that's something we can talk about in a little bit, I think it's important that you go ahead and be very intentional about what it is and how it is that you're going to grow. And so with this live view, with this live, I wanted to talk about how can you have career success in 2023. And I think it's important to really talk about just 2023 in general because I've been doing this for a while and I've noticed that there's definitely been a shift in what career success looks like, right? And even the career development field, where a lot of talk has been in 2018, 2019, it's like the standard. Let's talk about your resume, cover letters, and interviewing. And then shifting into 2020 through 2022, a lot of it has been what does work look like, right? We have, as millennials, have been talking about like, yo, just let us work from home. Like we could do just as much if you just let us work from home. And corporate America was really forced to shift within those 3 years, or excuse me, those 2 years, and knowing that working from home actually is beneficial and increases productivity. And so, with that, a lot of millennials and Gen Z said, you know what? I'm not limited to just working in the state, working for a company in the state that I live in. I can, find remote opportunities internationally, or I can actually change my standard of living and pick up and move to a different state or country and really enjoy and have, newfound balance in my life when it comes to work. And I'm noticing with 2023 is that there's been a shift, right? So those 2 years were about what it is that I want. I want to make more money. I want to get a faster title. But with the clients that I'm talking to now, a lot of people want to be more intentional and more satisfied in their lives and in their careers. And so let's jump into this about how you can make your 2023 most successful in your career. So number one, you want to make sure that you're defining what success actually looks like, right? And I think that oftentimes we kind of skate on it a bit. Wow, I haven't said that in a while, but we skate on it where in that we lean on specific end goals. And what I mean by that is, oh, success looks like in a career I make $100,000 at the end of the year, or I have my VP title, or I'm working for Google, or I'm working for Goldman Sachs, any of those prestigious companies. And that's good, but I really try to dig deep with my clients and understanding that the company and the money cannot be the end all, because you're going to be spending 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week at this job. So you want to really ensure that it aligns with your life goals, right? Because we're moving into our 30s and our 40s, and you have actual like life situations. You have kids, you have spouses, you have financial goals that you really want to accomplish. And yes, maybe you do want to make 100,000, 200, 250,000, right? And that's not bad. Actually, I push for it. Like, get your coins, But what happens when you're striving for these titles and it's eating up a lot of your time? So you're making money, but you can't even enjoy it because you just stuck to your computer all day, every day. And I encourage my clients to think about what are your boundaries, right? What kind of work environment do you really want to be a part of? Because that really sets the stage for whether or not you're going to perform. If you're in a place that's constantly high stress, and now you're coming home, you're not eating right, you're drinking all the time or doing whatever, it's going to show up in your body. You're not going to feel like, okay, I'm actually very successful at what it is that I do. And so I want you to think about, what does success actually look like for you? And I think also understanding what season of life you're in. And I had to learn this the hard way. So obviously last year I haven't been as active as I was online. And a part of that is because I moved to a new city and state. I'm now stationed in Miami, Florida, and I absolutely love it. And it's really propelled not only my career, but my life in general and my satisfaction that I feel. And with that move, I still was trying to do all the things. I still was trying to perform, and I just was recently promoted that year. I was trying to understand this new city. I was trying to get acquainted and be social. I was still running the branded career. I was still running my other company, and I still was trying to get into a new business venture. I had a lot of things going on in my life. And then tack on, you want to lose weight, you want to save this amount of money, you want to start these investments, and the list just goes on and on and on, right? But something that I didn't understand is that I've been running at 100% for a couple years now. And me moving to a new state by myself should have been the opportunity, and it turned into that opportunity towards the end of the year, that I actually rested in the things that I accomplished. We're so quick to start checking off the boxes. Like, I need to constantly be accomplishing something. I need to check off, I need to accomplish these goals, because if I'm not moving forward or if I'm not moving up, then I'm not progressing. And if I'm stuck, then I'm dead. And, all those go hard, grind hard type quotes that you read. But rest is really a part of career success. If you're not able, I was talking to a client actually. She hit her six-figure mark. She was in an industry that she loved, but she felt like she needed to be moving after the next thing. And I told her, enjoy your salary. Like, actually enjoy it. Do the things that you want to do. Like, I find that oftentimes, like, with trying to accomplish so much, that you don't even realize, stop and wait, like, wow, I actually accomplished it. And I'm speaking to myself, because I know that there are things that I've done well that I won't give myself the credit for. Now, that could be something deeper, right? Maybe I'll talk about it in therapy, and you bring it to your therapist, like, why can't I actually accomplish things, right? But I think a part of that is because we're holding on to other people's versions of success and not necessarily our own, right? So we're chasing these things, hoping that it's going to make us feel better, hoping it's going to make us be important, or overall, we're just looking for things to validate us. When, if you find that it's actually more so about how you feel about yourself, and for me being a believer, how God is actually, proud of me, or I'm in his will and doing the things that he asks of me, then you're good. Like, the stuff is going to come and go, and we make a lot of, and when we talk about making a lot of money, oftentimes some of us are in financially a comfortable place, right? And when you're, for me, I come from, I'm a first generation Haitian American. And to think about like where my parents were financially, um, oh shoot. So guys, I need to pause and get my computer charger. I should have done this a while ago. Give me 1 second. All right. Thanks, guys, for being understanding. Sorry about that. Okay, so when I think about like where my parents were financially and think about in Haiti, and if you're from any type of third world country, like we're living the life, right? Our parents, their goals were to save enough money, pay their bills, and like just take care of their family. But now we're in positions because of the foundation that they laid that we can experience travel, we can go into investments, we can just do a whole lot of different things. And because like we're so focused on the next and seeing on what's on Instagram and whatever's on TV, we don't realize that we are actually pretty rich and pretty wealthy compared to the world standard. Okay, so making sure that you understand what success actually looks like for you and really owning that, right? And so this moves into number two, where you need to be very unapologetic about your goals. So I listed out a few things that I've noticed has really been a roadblock for some of my clients when it comes to career progression and being honest about what it is that what they want. So the first thing is if you desire to actually make more money. And for some people, and like we said, we talked about seasons and stages, making more money might need to be your motivation by any means necessary. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and I'm really tired of a lot of personal finance advice and books that constantly talk about your budget and your expenses, right? So stop going out to buy coffee or stop buying lunch and all of these other things, right? And yes, it is very important for you to be a steward over your finances, to be able to budget and to maximize what it is that you have, right? But after a certain point, there's but so many expenses you can exclude from your spreadsheet, and you actually need to make more money. Like you cannot lay or continue. Matter of fact, let me not say lay. You cannot grow financially if you're stuck at making 30, 40, $50,000 a year. Like it's not happening, especially the way that inflation has been set up this past year and some change. Y'all see the cost of eggs? Like I was, I was telling my boyfriend that, yo, at this point, I might need to get a chicken because the way that eggs are priced, like, is absolutely wild. So for some people, if you need to make more money, then you need to make more money. Now, it's not only about making more money, you need to understand how much more you need to make. It's not enough to say, oh, I need to make $75,000. Now, the question becomes, is $75,000 enough money for you to really sustain not only your expenses, but take you to where it is that you want to go next? So get very clear about how much money it's going to take in order for you to live your next step in your desired lifestyle. The second thing is that for career progression and success, it might be a year of you taking a step back to actually learn. And I find with a lot of my executive coaching clients, this is the season that they have to invest in, and understanding that I'm learning the things that's needed to propel me not for 2023, but for 2024. So case example, I had a client, an exec coaching client in 2021. We worked together for 6 months, specifically working on her soft skills. And your soft skills are really geared towards leadership and team management and really propelling you forward when I think about career, or when we talk about career progression. And some of those soft skills can be team management, conflict resolution, negotiations. Executive presence tends to be thrown out there a lot and without real definition of what executive presence is. And I have videos on that, as well as public speaking. And so we were working on a lot of those soft skills that gets thrown to the side because we're focused on most of the time we're focused on getting a degree and a lot of those technical skills that we don't realize that the soft skills is really what lands you those six-figure salaries as well as those promotion into senior management. And she did the work in 2021. She showed up, she did the assignments, she did a lot of the deep work. And one thing I've learned in my time of executive coaching is that soft skills is really tied to your character and who you are as a person. And that's why it's really hard to teach it because it involves you being very self aware and having emotional intelligence to understand that you might be the root cause of a lot of your work problems. And so we worked on that, and now I'm looking on Instagram, and in 2022, she blazed it. She was out receiving awards on behalf of her company. She was out doing speaking engagements for her company. And it was because she took the time to take a step back and actually learn. And so if you want to really create success for yourself, you have to really learn and understand what it is that you need to learn. The third thing is career changing. So the career changers, I understand that most of the times we stay in jobs that we hate or stay in the career that we hate because that's the only thing that we've ever known. And you really need to have a new change of perspective in knowing that you're not starting over. If you change careers, you're starting from experience. And I always have to remind myself that when it comes to my career or even my business. If you desire to make a pivot, understanding that you have some valuable skills that another company, another industry, or even if you want to work for yourself, those skills are very valuable. And you can put a price tag on it in order for other people to use it. So when you're thinking about changing careers, understand that the longer that you procrastinate on doing it or even taking the steps towards it, the longer you're going to just stay in a miserable situation. I've said before that time is going to pass, right? So either you're going to spend a year getting in position or you're just going to spend a year just really regretting that you didn't get in position. Okay. And then another thing is about being unapologetic about your goals. I find that a lot of clients have been flirting with, you know what, I think I want to build a business or I want to see what that looks like. Yo, take this year to actually do it. I think with the internet and just everything just being online, this is one of the best times to start a business. Social media makes it extremely effective and cheap to market and sell your services or your products. And the thing is like as a professional and like those that have really high paying skills. So my project managers, maybe my IT personnel, accounting and tax personnel, real estate people, like you could put a four-figure price tag on what it is that you do. And if you want to talk about that further, just let me know. But your corporate skills can definitely translate into self-employment income. And I think it's also important that you learn how to sell your skills, whether it is for a new job, but also just to make more money. Like it's really, once I got this mentally, it like shifted a lot of things for me. Like it is very easy to make more money, right? And it's all about your perspective on what money is. And once I understood that money was a tool that you could use not only just to pay your bills, but it's a tool that you can use to make more money. And if you're looking at it as simply as that and not as something just to consume products and just to consume travel and experience and all of those things, then you won't be looking at, that infamous money tree, right? You think money goes on trees, right? From a lack perspective, but you're looking at it as an actual tree that it continues to reproduce and grow as long as you invest into it. And so if you have skills, like you really have something that you can sell to another small business, or even if you're into speaking and doing workshops to another company. I've done it. I have friends that do it. Like, trust me, if you want to build a business in 2023 and that is a part of your career success plan, then do it. Next up, so when we're talking about career success, I mentioned before that you need to be able to identify your valuable skills. And I tell my clients that you need to shift away from this whole mindset of, pay me my worth, right? They don't understand my worth. Well, your company's job is not to understand your worth. Your company's job is to pay you for the time and the services that you provided them. And so when you take your intrinsic value out of, this whole concept of pay me my worth and look at it as pay me for my skills, then now you look at your skills as a commodity that you're able to sell, right? And if you don't want to sell it, you can pack it up and move it on to another company. And that shift in perspective has really changed the way that my clients have interviewed and also the companies that they go after, right? Because they're looking at, I'm able to give you project management. I'm able to give you business analysis. I'm able to give you asset management as a service, right? As my skills. And this is how I'm able to really help you accomplish your goals. And when you're looking at putting a price tag, not on you as a person, but a price tag on what it is that you do, you're able to take the emotion out of negotiating your salary or negotiating your services. So, I will say, like, not only identify your valuable skill, this goes into number 4, is you have to learn how to communicate and sell. If I could do my career all over again, or if I can think about one skill that I wish I would have learned sooner, is the skill of selling. Now, we oftentimes look at selling as being sleazy and as, a car salesman, as if we're taking advantage of other people, which is also why I realize that a lot of people shy away from sales because they feel like there's I guess a moral wrong in selling, right? And the thing is that, and then also with selling, depending on if you think about sales as a career, like sales as a career, your income can fluctuate. You have your commissions, you have your bonuses, and all of those things. But when you look at selling as a skill, like, it's so priceless. Like, I realized that if you're able to look at selling as simply communicating an exchange of value, right? So I'm communicating the value that I can provide asset management services. You understand it. It's in your language. And by language, I mean like your industry language, right? And you understand, and then you see that there's some integrity there or whatnot. Then you, as a customer on the end, now decides, you know what? I'm going to pay them because I want their actual service, right? And it just made things so much easier for me when I was thinking about, okay, I want to negotiate my salary, right? When you're negotiating, essentially you're selling your viewpoint. And I would go in and I would say, okay, this is what I've done and this is what I plan to do. This is what I want. So the company says, you know what? That makes sense. I think you've communicated it effectively. And so we're going to increase your salary, right? And so I think sales, as well as I'm going to tie in here, negotiations is so important in really just getting to that next step in your career. Um, Lastly, what do I have? So, okay, so quick recap: defining what success looks like for you. Number 2 is being unapologetic about about your goals. 3 is identifying your valuable skills. 4 is learning how to communicate and sell. And then lastly is getting immediate help. I have a problem with this, and I've gotten better over these last 3 years. So having a college degree can sometimes help and hurt you, right? And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes once you've gone through traditional school system, you've kind of been locked into, this is how life works, this is how corporate works. And also you in your mind, you're like, shoot, if I can get a 4-year degree, I could figure out anything, right? So it puts you on a high horse of, I'm just going to figure this out on my own. And I think also because that's what our schooling looked like, right? Like, you went to class and then you might have had a study group, but for the most part, you were sitting up in the library typing up some papers by yourself, trying to figure it out. And you take that into life, where it's very, and I think it's a very individualistic society. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to show people what I'm about. No one can take credit for my success, and it's very I. But when you're going into new territory, the best way and the fastest way, I would say, to get to that next level is to really speak to the people that are at the level that you want to be, and humbling yourself. And that took some time for me. humbling yourself to say, you know what? I don't know. Everything that I've tried is not working. Everything that I read doesn't make sense. And sometimes that you need not only the mentorship, but you need the coaching. And I think I'm going to do a video on whether or not coaching is effective in 2023. Because I find that in this society, in this environment of like, you have business coaches, life coaches, mindset coaches. I even saw like a manifestation coach. I don't know what that is, but you have all of these things and coaches out there. It can be overwhelming. And then let alone like sometimes there's scammers on the internet. And you want to know, like, if I pay for this service, pay for this expensive service, am I going to get the results that I need? And I truly believe in coaching, not because I am a coach, but because I've received coaching. And when I really humbled myself and said, you know what, I have this goal, it's sitting on my heart, I want to accomplish it, I need the help to get there. You know what? Let me just pay for it and just do the work. And I will tell you, I told my boyfriend this, that had it not been for certain coaching programs that I was a part of, I don't think I would have excelled the way that I did in my business or even in my career, because I find that things that I learned in my business translate right over into my career. And I think that oftentimes we really limit ourselves because we believe that we can do it. We have all the answers. And oftentimes the answers might be in another person. And I would also think about it this way: if you want to sell a product, you want to sell a service, you want to be known as, whatever it is in your field, I think it's important that you have to understand. I think it's important to understand the power dynamic, right? Because, and when you're selling, right, you have someone that's coming to you saying, you know what, you have something that I need, but a part of me is kind of stubborn and kind of prideful that I have to ask you and ask for you to provide the service in order to get it. And I think that if you want to understand and sell better and negotiate better, you need to be on the other side. So hopefully all of that made sense. But just to recap on everything, I think career success in 2023 is really going to come down to these 5 things that I said, but then also just continuous intentionality. And I say continuous intentionality because I know that oftentimes we write our goals, right? And if you don't believe me, like, I have my goals written out for the year. I'm like, that I'm about to do all these things. I got my highlighter, right? And truth be told, you may write down your goals, but you're probably going to forget about it because life be lifing, right? it gets in the way. You forget that, oh snap, I'm only supposed to eat 1,500 calories today. Otherwise, it's going to throw me off and I'm not going to have my deficit. Continuous intentionality means that you have to set time for yourself to make sure that you're on your goals, right? And you're able to really reset your intention to say, you know what, I was off this week and I need to read this, or maybe I'll start looking in it and looking and researching this coaching program I want to be a part of. Or I'm going to actually start networking and speaking to people, updating my LinkedIn, like all of these things. Like, continuous intentionality is really what's going to drive you closer and closer to your goals. And so that's all that I had for you today. If you are in the comments right now, let me know your thoughts on it. Is there anything that actually stuck out to you as far as career success in 2023? I would definitely love to hear it and really chat with you. Lastly, if you are in a place where you're looking for support in your career, you need something a bit more short term to really just launch you into that next level. This year, I am offering VIP days. And essentially what those days are is that in one day, we're able to really map out what your career goals are and the path to get you to where it is that you want to be. These are extremely effective, done them in the past. You can read reviews about them on my LinkedIn profile, as well as my Career Catalyst coaching program. And with that, guys, I had a really good time and I'm looking forward to many more of these lives in 2023. Have a good day.